Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Promo Kitchen Deep Dive, where we're going to discuss one of the responses this week from this promo chat. And I'm lucky to be joined by Kate Plummer from Clearmount. Hi, Kate.
Hey, Abby, how are ya?
I'm doing well, thanks. And we also want to thank our good sponsor, Maple Ridge, for sponsoring these deep dives. Now, Kate, your response came from a response on one of our questions this week. So I'm going to read the question, I'm going to read the response, and then your response, and then we're going to discuss it a little bit. So the question this week was, we all have a first day, first week, or first month jitters. What was the hardest learning curve when you started out in the industry, and what could have made it easier? I actually responded how I went to a trade school, so I had a lot of hands-on experience. And when you actually do decoration the first time, or I find when people actually go and see how a squeegee is pulled on a screen, or how something is embroidered, they actually learn more about the process and become more knowledgeable about it. Your response was something that kind of struck home, and you brought receipts. It's crazy that it's so hard to get distributors to come for plant tours. In the year after doing a plant tour with us, sales go up at least 30%. That is pre-COVID. And if you don't learn how something is done, you're on your back foot. So, we love stats, but we want to hear more about the stats behind that and a little bit more about your plant tours.
Yeah, so I always find it so interesting because we're in Toronto, which in Canada is kind of the hub of where I mean, Torontonians, everyone outside of Canada is like, of course, Torontonians think they're the center, but the majority of suppliers and distributors are actually based in the Toronto and the surrounding area. So, or
Mm.
in Ontario, which is our province. And I just like getting people to come to my plant is kind of one of those, and I get it. It's like pulled away from your desk takes a hard time, but every time someone comes to our plant, their sales will go up. And it's always one of those like, it's not like we're taking money from their jacket project into an award project. Is like, this becomes like a loyalty building event of making an awards program. So they can come in, they can see what we can make, they can see how they can sell it, and they can get ideas for what they're doing. And so for us, like, because we do custom acrylic, so it's kind of one of those like custom, and they like, sure, yeah. But when they come in and see what I truly mean by custom, like I mean color, I mean shape, I have embedment, I have like drawers filled with weird things that we can embed for you. So like what's that? Some people have gone like, okay, so I'm thinking of a piece with like metal stars. Do you know where we can find them? I was like, yeah, like there's a bunch of them sitting on my desk right now. Like, or like we need clock parts. Yeah, I've got a drawer of that. Like glass globes shaped like with the printing of the world. Yeah, I've probably got about 20 here. So let me just see if I can get more. Like it, I have weird ass stuff in my place because I just have it. We've collected it over the years. Like we've just become, it's bad because we're kind of hoarders, but there's a lot of stuff here. And so when people can come in and see, oh, what about this? What about that? Oh, you can do custom color, like not, oh, we've got shades of blue. It's like, what shade of blue is yours? Like what PMA color is yours? Like, here's how we mix it. Like that's what, so they come in, they get these ideas and they bring them back to their clients. But for me to stand in a booth and tell you, I've got drawers of weird stuff. I can mix any color you want. Everything is handcrafted. There becomes this perception of like, plastic is cheap, so your stuff is cheap, instead of coming and seeing like your stuff is handcrafted. Like this, there's work that
Mm.
goes into it. And I think we're all very attuned to thinking everything just comes off a machinery line. So when you
Mm-hmm.
encounter something custom, it kind of changes your perception from like, this is cheap, this is a widget, what is the point of this, to, oh, I can see the value and I can tell the value to my client as well, which is so important. Like for you to be able to communicate is key. And it
It's
kind of,
that artisanal value, basically, that a lot of people, they think, well, I'm ordering from a catalog, but in your case, no, it actually isn't artisanal because it is handmade and it is handcrafted for your project in a sense. Am I right?
exactly. Like I was explaining to a distributor this week because they're like, well, what are your mold costs? And I was like, okay, well, we won't make a mold for this because it's under 50 pieces. So we'll just hand cut it. And like to them, it was like, yeah, but how many, like, will I be charged setup on that? I was like, No, it's factored into the price, but it's hand cut. like we're not
Well, that
molding
goes
his hands
into
to do this.
exactly, and that goes into my next thing, which is, a lot of people don't understand the work that goes into some of these projects. Now, yes, there are some products in the industry that it's very boom, 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 and it's easy to do with the right machinery. But at the same time, some items, if you have something that's hand cut out of wood, if you have something that needs to be done a certain way, like if I say to somebody who's new in the industry, why are you doing that as a six color? And can we get that knocked down a few? They think, well, six color, why do I need to do all these pieces? Not realizing that six stations on a screen printing press, or when you go into a mixed mode media, like if you mix screen printing and embroidery, you're actually touching two departments in a production facility with their own individual setups, their own individual art formats they need, and so much work goes into that. That yes, the price is going to be $10 for the decoration because there's so much work
Yeah.
and so much time invested in that one piece. So it's funny how for you you're saying, well, from your aspect, you're teaching someone how it's artisanal and it's a item that is going to have more value to it because it's a handmade item for their client. Whereas even just in the industry, an embroidered piece, that's still time on machine. They're still set up, and how do those look? And somebody that's new in the industry, which is the whole premise of our promo chat this week, doesn't understand all the things that go into those, and why a lot of times promotional product consultants will say, well, okay, I have about 30 questions I need to ask before I can quote this project. And please bear with me, they are all very important.
Yeah. But it's one of those things. It's like I call my guys artisans, handcraft and everything like that. But if you watch someone who is good at screen printing, they are an art, like they're craftsmen, they're artisans in their own right because they can churn through it. And in terms of production wise, it takes a really long time to get someone to that speed of things where your costs make sense on things. So you have those training and learning curves on everything. And I think it's really important that distributors and people new to the industry or even other suppliers should go and see what other people are doing because like I said, it sets you on your back foot. And it as like in terms of client facing, it means you're just going to go, I don't know, I'm going to find out, or I'll find out for you. Like, and there's so many things where you can say, I'll find out for you, or yeah, six color is going to be really expensive because it's this, this, and this. Like you are presenting yourself as a person with expertise. And that does something to set you apart of you being able to explain technically why something happens. And it is that. It's like, each thing takes labor. And if you're able to know that, yeah, there's a screen cost and I can't waive that for you because that supplier needs to shoot film, shoot the screen, mix the ink, hand mix the ink, which like everyone should learn mixing ink, how it is a skill. Like we have a guy who's really good at it. And even sometimes, like, yeah, even digital printing nowadays is like getting the color right. Sometimes like the technology isn't fail safe. Like it happens. Like you have to play with it a bit. And if you can go in and say, we could do this, but we're gonna, this would make it easier for production, thus cheaper for you, or, this is something, or decoration, like for clothing, to go in and say, you know what, you love the left breast logo, but have you thought of this style of printing? Because I went on a plant tour and I saw it and it's amazing and it's so cool. And I think it's gonna be the right fit for you. Again, you're setting yourself from someone else who's like picking up a catalog and going, and we can do this color and we can do this color. It's like you're showing off, like I know what's going on, and it's important. So yeah.
And so it's funny because I've actually gone on a couple plant tours myself, and with those specific suppliers, I've learned more about their process, their time, and I've met some of the people that work behind the scenes, like a quality control person, and learning how there's steps involved before product even becomes available. There's steps involved with custom product and how that process works on the back end, because a lot of people are used to the Amazon of I want it now and such. Whereas in our industry, it's not a necessarily you can have it tomorrow industry. It takes time. You're in line. We will get to you as soon as we can. or what it, in some suppliers' cases, what it takes to do an overnight next day production process and how that severely disrupts a lot of other things in the system. Now, it's funny because, as you were just saying, I've been on a factory tour, and I remembered, oh, hey, this supplier could do this specific item, and we ended up doing a custom order of 10,000 bags for a client, but it had something that was completely unique that I didn't know that supplier could do, and it's not a process that's really, you know, put out there as much, but it works for the option. So even, you know, someone who's had industry experience, you can still learn, hey, there's other techniques, other ways to do things, or or why these things take 5, 10, sometimes 15 working days if it's a truly custom product. Because it's not just like, oh, yep, we got to go print 2 of these and 1 of these, and then we got to trim it down. It's no, the ink has to be mixed, the separations have to be done, the whole ball game has to be done for just your order. Now times that by hundreds of orders or thousands of orders a day. So this has been really great, Kate. I really appreciate your time and chatting with me. And thanks so much for jumping in on Promo Chat.
No
and for
problem.
everybody watching or listening, Promo Chat every week, 3 p.m.
Well,
Eastern.
I'm going to jump in before you do your amazing wrap up there. I'm going to interrupt you with it. Just because, to touch on one point on my tweet, was I said plant tours pre-COVID times. Obviously, production is not going to be like, we're dealing with skeleton crews, we're dealing with like social distancing. So we're not welcoming people in the same way. Like, we're very strict about it because all the suppliers have to, you know, our staff's health and safety is number one to us. So we're being very aware of that. So the ability to kind of say like, hey, I'm in the neighborhood, can I come for a plant tour? I'm traveling here. That's gone for you right now. So this is my appeal to suppliers right now. Use social media, use video, use something like, show each step of your process. A lot of people are very afraid to kind of like pull back the curtain and show people, but you have the ability to show why things cost money, and you have the ability to show why your product is better. Like, show like, you know, your hand cutting. So do quick videos, like, you know, share production photos. Like, I've shared a production photo of our saw, and someone came to me with a project going like, I don't know if you could do this. And I was like, that's totally in our wheelhouse. And they wouldn't have done that. So show the behind the scenes, because those have like sales repercussions of like, sort of like, yeah, give you an idea. And it has the emotional one to kind of show your people behind this. And if you're interested in all, like, so Kathy Chang from Redwood, like, her company has started this hashtag Factory Friday, and they show a behind the scenes shot, and it could be people who've come for a tour, but like, follow that and then ask your suppliers, like, give me a Factory Friday, like, show me a behind the scenes, because it's cool. And I think the more power and education we give to our clients of distributors, the more power they have in selling our product. So use social, play with images, like, don't be afraid to hide your process, because we do cool stuff. And it's also that of like, if you want to show the value of even made in North America or labor in North America, show what it actually is. Like, don't let people assume that we're all massive production lines, because a lot of us aren't. A lot of us do handcrafted work, whether it's like as elaborate as mine, or it's a 1-color imprint or a 2-color. Like, there is skill in a 2-color imprint, don't get me wrong. So there's my pitch. Suppliers, promote yourself, show behind the scenes, Factory Friday, show it off. And you know, distributors, like, take that effort. It's so cool what we do. And it's just so, even just like mixing ink, I find that so neat. I love like going to like Redwood and seeing the piles of pre-cut stuff. Like, go and ask for this information, because it makes you strong. So Javi, you did a great job on hosting Deep Dive. I'll let you do your wrap up now.
No, and that's actually a good point. And it's, you know, the COVID, it does throw a wrench into the works as far as being able to do these, but that's a great solution. And, you know, it's funny, one of the things I usually say, and even in Promo Chat, is I don't like to complain about something without offering a solution. And you just did that exactly. You offered a solution in a time that is not ideal for those factory tours. So that's awesome. Well, Kate, anything else you want to add while we're at it?
I covered most of it. Don't worry. You can wrap it up.
Well, thanks so much, everybody, for listening in. And as I was saying, you can join Promo Chat every week on Twitter, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Just follow the hashtag Promo Chat. And thank you so much, Kate, for jumping on with us. And thank you to Maple Ridge for sponsoring our deep dive this week. And everybody, have a safe week.
You too. Take care.